on what to buy.
No worries.
Continue. I'm consenting. Okay, to recording. So thank you. I'm ready when you are. I got your questions right here.
I just have to get on the page. It'll take me a second.
Yeah, I know. I know the ropes. Looks like we're on, I think.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kella Price from Healthy Fit. I am here with Denise Imbesi from Muscle Mixes Music, and we are going to talk to you about music licensure and all things music. Thank you so much for joining me today, Denise.
You're very welcome. I'm honored to be a guest here. And I was just saying how you look much more professional than I do. You've got the fancy mic, the great makeup. I might need to get eyebrow lessons after when we're done from you.
Super easy. I get my makeup on in like 5 to 10 minutes, no lie. It's
wow,
fast,
you look great.
And it lasts all day, even with the workouts, lashes and everything.
Really? Yeah. Oh, cool. I've seen some women that are just doing from here up because of the masks. That's what I've heard.
That's funny.
I know.
So let's get started. I saw in your bio that you are the woman behind the music. Tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay, sure. So I'm Denise Imbesi, CEO and founder of Muscle Mixes. We started in 1988. And, you know, our business started sort of as a fluke. I've always loved music. My brother is a DJ, or was a DJ, or a radio DJ, and he used to come home with boxes of records. And I was teaching class, you know, I was a fitness instructor, and I'd be like going through all those albums and thinking, oh my God, I can put together the most killer, you know, CD cassette at the time, which I did. And other instructors noticed, and they started coming up to me and saying, how can I do that? You know, I mean, we got to get a hold of what you're doing. It was very organic. I mean, there was a very strong need by a lot of instructors for music to be done in a certain way, 32 counts, nonstop mixed, you know, all that, certain beats per minute. And we filled the need, and I knew nothing about business. I just went through it. I just went for it, and it just blew up. So that's how I got into it. And here I am now, 30 years later.
That's so cool. My husband DJ'd in college, and so I too remember the big boxes he would carry of CDs, and he would have tape on each CD cover of his favorite tracks for them. And he would use his CD collection to make me the most amazing mixtapes, and I would listen to those mixtapes until they were worn out. It's not like the MP3s today.
I know. You know, I was just mentioning that the other day, that instructors change their music list, their playlist every class just about now. Whereas back then, you know, you just use it and use it and use it and use it till you have time to do another one. So, but that's awesome. Your husband was a DJ. Yeah, those were the fun days. I mean, it was a lot harder to be a DJ back then. And now, you know, everything's computerized and you just punch in the beats per minute and boom, it just shows up. But yeah, so it was different back then.
So obviously things happened for a reason. You were in the right place at the right time. But the music industry is traditionally very male dominated. How did you break through the glass ceiling to become such a well-known company in fitness music?
Well, thank you for asking me that. I mean, I've never had anybody ask me that question. I don't think I know the answer, except I just followed my passion. I'm a very passionate person, very creative. I've always been creative, you know. Running a business is sort of out of my comfort zone. in terms of like the numbers and that kind of stuff. But, you know, I just have always, I guess I've always been a little entrepreneurial, even as a kid. You know, we used to have I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and we used to have little carnivals, and I would charge a certain amount of money and stuff like that. So I think there's just something inside me that really loves providing finding a solution for a problem and giving it to those people. Like I would never get into a business, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I would never get into a business like an Italian restaurant or something where there's hundreds of them, you know, and maybe, you know, of course I love a good Italian food, but I like to fill a need, you know, a problem that exists and fixing that problem, because then it just makes sense, you know. So I don't know if that answers the question. Yeah, it was the 80s. It was impossible. It was unheard of to hear of a female DJ, let alone, you know, someone in this industry. But thank you for noticing. And I just followed my, you know, my passions, I guess, just like you are, right?
Absolutely. Going after those goals and really pursuing things that are things that you're interested in and that you find value in. I'm sure we have a lot of fitness professionals who are entrepreneurial, and this whole coronavirus has really forced, I think, a lot of them out of their comfort level to push their business forward if they want to proceed in fitness industry and survive in this environment. And as you mentioned, you didn't have a lot of business background when you started your company. How did you obtain the necessary skills and knowledge needed to survive in business? Because I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs fail within the first year. There's huge statistics. It's startling because they can't manage their business aspect. So how did you go about learning and doing?
Well, I do have, first of all, I do have this, something inside of me that's extremely persistent. I don't give up, you know? So I've got that. One of the things that I would say is extremely important is to surround yourself with people that are better than you at things that you're not good at. I have no problem doing that. Maybe when I was younger, I had a little bit of a bigger ego, but now I'd rather learn from people who are the best at whatever it is they do, you know, whatever that field is, social media or marketing or CFO, you know, finances. I love having people around me who are, you know, and I have a great team right now who are better than me. You know, I mean, not everybody's great at everything. We weren't born, you know, I tell my daughter this all the time. We weren't born, you know, knowing how to play soccer or whatever, because she's like, I can't do this, you know. Well, you weren't born it. You have to learn technique. You have to learn, you know, this and that. So I love to rely on a great team. I think that's so important. And, you know, at the beginning, it's hard because you don't have the money. And so it's that catch-22. I need the money to hire the person. And you ask for many favors. I used my parents a lot to help me stuff packages back in the 80s when we were shipping CDs. So, but yeah, that's probably the way I learned from other people. You know, I certainly didn't have an MBA or anything like that from Harvard, you know, so it's been a fun ride though.
That's great advice. As women in business, what other advice would you give for women entrepreneurs who want to chase their dreams, to encourage them?
That's a great question, because I feel like women do, you know, I don't know the statistics and maybe you do, but you know, my understanding is women aren't as present in the boardroom as men, you know, and there's been, you know, cases where women get paid less for the same job. And, you know, as women, we are different. You know, of course I'm generalizing, but in general, women are different. We're more nurturing. Maybe we say 5 more words to say a sentence more than a male does, you know. I would say the number one biggest thing is to trust your gut, because I think that, and you know, trust your intuition. I have, in my experience, been around a lot of males, of course, in business that are overly confident and so adamant about. I had, for example, I had an accountant once tell me, "Stop going to all trade shows. You're losing money." You know, because we used to go to 15. We used to exhibit at 15 trade shows a year. And let me tell you, that was the reason, that's what put Muscle Mixes on the map. I mean, those trade shows were, even though we were pouring money into it, it helped us. It got us known, you know. And he said, "That's it, no more trade shows," you know. And You just, and you know, even though I'm kind of saying the opposite of what I just said, is to rely and trust those professionals who know more than you. If it doesn't feel right, whatever they recommend to you, I wouldn't say, you know, just turn everything over to them blindsided. I would say, trust your gut, learn what they're saying, understand why they're saying it. Why are you saying to cancel all the trade shows? Because that was the biggest mistake we ever made. Um, so that's probably the biggest thing. I think women, and again, I'm generalizing, but women tend to doubt themselves more often, especially when it comes to business decisions, second guessing themselves, feeling guilty about this, that, and the other. Trust your gut. Your intuition matters. You ultimately do know what's best. However, get the feedback from professionals, their opinions. Would you agree, Kella? I
Yeah,
mean, have you experienced that too, where
I
women are second
have.
guessing themselves and stuff?
I think a lot of women second guess themselves
Yeah,
because they lack the self-confidence, and people have told them for so long, you can't.
right,
This is not for you.
right.
What are you thinking? And sometimes I have people that tell me, gosh, you need to slow down one thing at a time. But I have all these great ideas that I want to implement, and I have to evaluate what it is they're talking about and figure out how it fits into my overall plan.
That's right. That's right.
And
So,
sometimes you have to
yeah,
take risks, and your intuition will tell you if you're on the right track. I feel like if your goal is big enough,
yeah,
it's going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You
that's
should
true.
be a little bit nervous
That's
and
true.
maybe a little unsure. And that's when you step in and you get those professionals that you talked about to
Hmm.
encourage you, those mentors that can surround you with knowledge.
Hmm.
And I surround myself with positive people in the industry. I'm always learning, taking classes from other fitness professionals, reaching out to my fitness mentors and learning from them to make myself better, because
Absolutely.
especially in health and wellness, everybody needs health and wellness. So there's more than enough business to go around. I'm not going to be
Absolutely.
threatened by someone else who's doing amazing things in this industry. I get excited and figure out how can we leverage and that create some sort of synergy and leverage each other's talents together to make people healthier. And my success is not going to impede your success, and vice versa. So I feel
Absolutely.
like we can build each other up and encourage each other and make a better life for not only ourselves but our clients. And that's why I'm in this
Absolutely.
industry, and that's why I love training other fitness professionals, because I was in that spot at one time. And I feel like,
Really?
yeah, we all have to start somewhere, right?
Of course. Of course. Yeah, of course. So yeah, no, it's so true. And that I just wanted to make sure you were on the same page as me, because it's pretty common that women second guess, and you know, there's a whole mansplaining thing that we hear about. Men do tend to come off more confident in business. And it is changing. So I say, listen to everybody. Listen, I'm a, somebody called, what's it called? I'm a scanner. I like to hear everybody's opinion, and then I make my own. But you know, don't just check out. I've done in the past where I just check out. Ugh, accounting. I just check out. Just do it. You know, I don't want to know. But you know, don't check out. You can understand money coming in, money going out, or whatever it is. Understand as much as you need to understand, because you are you know, it is your money. It is your baby. It is your business. So as much as we want to just say, ugh, go do accounting, I don't want to hear about it, or insurance, or those are the things, you can tell the things I don't like. So yeah, it's interesting. So it's been a great ride. And you know what? All you guys, all the fitness professionals have made it so much better. I love this industry, and I just love everybody in it. Um, I'm sad to see that, you know, the gyms have closed these last few months, but we're going to make it back, you know, just as we've always done.
I don't know
So
about you, but I'm as busy as ever. I'm more busy now
I
with
know.
everything I have going on than I was when I was teaching 20 classes a week at the gym. And
Sure.
I'm
It's
making
true.
more
Yeah,
money.
we're sure
So
it is.
it's a
Wow.
win,
That's
making
great.
more money, reaching more clients, creating more innovation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really I feel like it's a really exciting time for fitness professionals, but we're here to talk about music.
Okay, back to me, yeah.
I get music questions like every day in my inbox, in my groups from fitness professionals. They get confused about the types of music that are available and the legality of using different types of music. Can you give us a quick rundown of or review of the types of music available to us?
Sure. And I don't know about the word quick, but I'll do my best. So at first, I always want to give the disclaimer that I'm not an attorney, but I do know quite a bit. I don't know everything, and I'm not an attorney. So if you have any doubts, you can check with your attorney. The rule of thumb is always this: if you're using somebody else's copywritten work, which is music, you must get permission, period. And permission usually means pay a fee. Now I've heard, you're right, I'm getting it every day too in my inbox. And we, since the beginning, since March, early March, we've been getting it, and it hasn't slowed down. And I love that instructors are interested enough to ask. Some people are just totally clueless, like, oh, you mean I can't just use, whatever. So in general, you've got to get some kind of permission. There's a lot of different, you want me to go into all the detail, the breakdown of live streaming versus Facebook versus, do you want me to go into all of that?
Yeah, so the fitness community gets confused with copyright and license requirements. And so if I'm teaching a live class at the gym, my gym's reopened, what can I use?
Okay. Live and in person?
Yes, live and
in person. If you're at a gym, the gym is responsible to pay what's called a public performance license for playing music in a public place. Most gyms already do. It's not the instructor's responsibility. You can use anything.
But a lot of instructors, there's a lot of boutique gyms popping up, smaller gyms that may not have that PPL license.
PPL, it's not called PPL. PPL is a British license. That's a British organization. Oh, well, PRO, it's a performance right organization. So it's the performance rights license, whatever, PRL. So if they don't have it, it's really not, again, it's not the instructor's responsibility unless you go into a situation where you're outdoors. Then like a park, you have to check with churches and things like that. I think churches are exempt. They might be exempt. But it's only your responsibility if you're the one collecting the money, you're doing it outdoors or something like that. But if you're just showing up to teach, it's not your responsibility. Does that help?
Yes. If you're teaching on a Facebook Live, a YouTube Live, or Instagram Live, now how does this change what I can use?
Okay, and the reason why it changes, just so you guys understand, is the music industry has a whole different set of licenses once classes go onto a video. And those are videos, broadcasts, whatever. Whenever you are using a movement with music, it's a synchronization in their mind. Facebook owns Instagram, so whatever applies to Facebook applies to Instagram, and they are the strictest. You will not be able to use any popular songs on Facebook, period. I mean, really, Facebook or Instagram. In fact, they've just made it harder. Within the last month, I just saw a notice where Facebook and Instagram are saying, now if you're shooting live, they're going to stop you midway through the stream and put up a notice to say your music is not, cleared. So I would never take a chance on Facebook.
When you say popular music, you're talking about songs that you would recognize and hear from the radio, like Justin Bieber.
Correct. So, songs from by the original artist, Spotify, even Muscle Mix's music's cover songs, which are re-records, still don't use them. Anything that is well known, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, do not do it. Yeah.
They have algorithms that will go through and scan the music.
Correct.
to identify that. That's why it happens so quickly for those people who have used the music and say, oh no, I just recorded a video and now I can't hear anything because they muted it.
They muted
Which
it.
is a terrible thing because
it's horrible. It's horrible. You do all that work and then it comes down. So it's either can come down, they'll mute it, or they'll strike you, or they'll put you in Facebook jail. I mean, there's so many different things, but Facebook and Instagram, absolutely not. Just stick with what we call royalty-free music, which is music that we, Muscle Mixes, or other companies own 100%, and that you've gotten permission to use on Facebook. If you've gotten permission from someone, then you should be okay. But Facebook and Instagram, absolutely not. They have, like you said, robots that go out and do. They have algorithms, but they also have humans that go in there and check. So you're not going to get away with it. I've seen people say this music is not owned by me. That doesn't do anything as far as I know. You've seen that, right? Where people say this music is not owned. Yeah.
Or
it doesn't
for
matter.
Educational purposes only.
For education.
Doesn't care.
They don't care. They don't care. So yeah, unfortunately, Facebook, you just can't do it. And Instagram, it's not going to stay up, most likely. Yeah.
And when I've posted videos that have music, I also give credit. I say that the music is licensed by such and such, like Muscle Mixes music, to give great credit to the author. And so if there is any question about where I got the music from, we could go back to the source, right?
That's good. I like that. That's really nice. That's great. Now, YouTube's a little different. YouTube does have some deals with record labels and publishers. So with YouTube, it's hit or miss. From what I understand, I don't think they'll take your content down, but they will put a strike against your account. And if you're the kind of instructor that likes to monetize on YouTube, they will not let you monetize. That's only if you're using, again, that popular music, the Justin Biebers and that kind of stuff, songs that we all know and love. It's a little risk. It's a less risk on YouTube because they do have some partnerships, but you definitely won't be able to monetize the video, and you might get strikes against your account, and that's not a good thing either. So
I've never gotten a strike. What does that mean? Tell our audience, what does it mean if you get a strike?
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay. Well, there's well, you follow the rules. I know you're great, Kella. You are great about that. So a strike is, they give you, first of all, they give you a flag. They send you a notice. I've never experienced it myself. I don't really know exactly what it's like, but my understanding is we've had some of our customers send us copies of the letters. YouTube will send a letter and say, there's now a strike against your account. I think it's 3 strikes, you're out. I think 3 strikes and they take you down for a short period of time. But don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. It's just, they can take you down. That's what the strikes are. That's why it's bad to have a strike against your account. And really, why would anybody want to go on YouTube or Facebook anyway? I mean, you're not monetizing it, I don't see, of course, YouTube is easy. Everybody knows how to use it. It's easy to put stuff up, but you're not making any money unless there's some advertising in there, and they take the advertising away if you're not using royalty-free music. So I don't see really the benefit to putting classes up on YouTube unless you do a little 10-minute clip or something.
Right. So what I have told my fitness pros in regards to that is that periodically you can do a free class. I have, if you go on for my brands on my Kella Price Fitness YouTube, you can look up and take a free class, one class for each one of my brands, so that you can sample the class and see if it's something that you might be interested in subscribing to a class program or taking the certification to teach the class yourself. Then I have a series of, I'll do sometimes workout demonstrations of a certain exercise move, or I'll have a short 5 or 10-minute workout. But I tell fitness professionals, don't give away all of your content for free. Because you're worth the time and the effort. And yeah, there are some great videos on YouTube, and there are some people that they're putting all their content out
Yeah.
Like, it seems like they're putting videos out every day for free.
I
I
know.
don't
I see
recommend
that.
that because I don't know how you're going, it's not sustainable, and you're worth more than that. You can offer things of service and little snippet
Right.
classes, demonstrations, but they should be, generally speaking, short and not a whole class, because that doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
do you any favors,
Yeah.
and it doesn't allow you to interact and create that relationship with your end user,
Yeah.
because most often you're not going to be able to know who viewed your video and be able to follow up with them and
That's
coach
true.
them and get them to be better
That's true.
that,
That's a
through that
very good point. That's the
system.
first time I've heard that. And yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They want to see you if they, before they spend money. Yes, I mean, absolutely give them a little glimpse, like we allow people to listen to our music before they buy it.
Mhm.
But absolutely. So yeah, so I would shy away from the social media channels unless it's for promotion, like you're talking about, or for what we're doing, like right now, talking.
We've used your mixes at Healthy Fit for our program launch of a number of our brands. And anyone who subscribes to our online workout programs will hear music that we selected from your library. My instructors have access to your music through our links to teach their classes live or virtually. And it's great that they have that option, because some fitness programs do not have music options for their group fitness instructors to teach virtually. So their instructors have been unemployed with no option to teach the classes.
Yeah.
I know you have a special discount that we're offering to our Healthy Fit members. Can
Hmm.
you tell us about that?
Yes, I am using, and you can type this in at the end. If you type in Kella deal, KELLADEAL, we're giving you $10 off the whole order, and that'll be good until the end of June. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so if you want to get, some virtual music, or if you want to join our app, or just download something you like, musclemixes.com. Yeah. So Kella deal. I thought, kind of like a play on words, hella deal. Get it? Kella deal.
Yeah, I like it.
There's so many opportunities with your name, Kella Pro. I mean, there's so many things you can do.
Now, if an
But yeah,
instructor needs music for a particular class, let's say a yoga class, for example, how do they locate the appropriate music and BPM for their classes?
so we have a couple of options. We still sell albums, playlists, a la carte, where you can purchase one at a time. You go to our website. We have categories where you can sort by activity or beats per minute or music genre, or you can type in the word yoga or type in the 130 or whatever the BPM is. And you can listen to the music before you either download it. And believe it or not, we still sell a lot of CDs. We're still shipping CDs. So you can either buy a CD or download it. But a lot of fit pros are moving to the app, because today consumers in general are consuming music by streaming it. It seems like it's here to stay. So we have an app, Muscle Mix Now, for $12.95 a month. You can play everything. You can create your own mixes on there. You can play both virtual music and Muscle Mix pre-mixed albums, right from there. It's really the best price, $12.95, and you get everything. And recently, since COVID, we've been just pouring virtual music on that app as fast as we possibly can, so that we can allow instructors to use that. And we are allowing everyone, at least until August 1st, we're allowing fit pros who do join Muscle Mix Now to use the virtual music that we have on our app on Facebook, Zoom live streaming, Facebook, and YouTube. So, it's a pretty good price, $12.95 for all of that. So,
For sure.
yeah.
Because typically the cost involved for replay videos, downloads is substantially higher than that.
Yeah, our average rate is usually around $250 for a 60-minute mix, and but we're just making that exception right now until August to help fit pros out. We may extend it. I don't know. We'll have to revisit it. It's been a really weird time. Not all gyms are open. Yeah, so we're just kind of like waiting and see what happens. So
I'm really excited about everything happening at Healthy Fit. We've launched this podcast, our Fit Pro development series. Our brands went international in May. Aqua Fit,
Really?
Healthy Fit Kids, Healthy Fit Seniors, Barre and Yoga SHREDDED, Bikini Body
Wow.
Camp. What am I missing? Athlete Strength, It's 30, MMA
That is
Cardio.
so great, Kella. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome.
And we're offering live, virtual live, and online self-paced certification classes to teach our programs. I think that the coronavirus has really pushed and challenged fitness pros, as we discussed earlier. Here at Healthy Fit, we've actually been teaching virtually for 2 years. This is nothing new
That's
for
right.
us, but I
That's
feel like
right.
many are still trying to figure out what their model looks like. How do you think that this has changed the industry from your perspective? And what can Fit Pros do to generate additional success in this new environment?
That's a good question. Here's what I believe. We are not really over COVID in the United States or anywhere until they find a virus, a vaccine. So and we don't know how long that's going to take. So it's still, California, I don't think their gym's open or they're just about to open. Um, you know, it's going to take a while for us to open, and people want to work out. I took my first spin class today and I was so happy. It's amazing. There are 3 people in the class. That's it. But it's going to take a while. So I think there's a lot of people, I don't know what the percentage is, and it depends on where you live, because here in Orlando, it wasn't as bad as it was maybe in a bigger city, a more dense city like Miami or New York. So everybody's comfort level is going to be different. So because of that, we have to, everything that I've been watching these podcasts and webinars, and I'm sure you have too, is saying that there's going to be a hybrid out there for various reasons. One, for the people that are just uncomfortable to go out there still, or not only uncomfortable, they're at high risk for some reason. They have asthma or some other kind of pre-existing condition, and they can't take that chance. Another reason is schedules. People are getting kind of cozy. I know I am. I'm loving sitting at home and just moving my couch and doing a workout. I love it. So everybody is saying virtual's here to stay. So what was the question again? What's the industry going to be like?
Yeah, how can Fit Pros be successful in our new environment?
So I think that it's so easy nowadays to have instant website. There's platforms out there that you pay us $20 a month or something, or no money, to quickly and easily get your content up there. And I really believe that instructors have so much between their ears. There's so much information that fitness professionals have that everyone's dying to hear about. So get out there. I've realized that the class that I'm taking is in Miami, and I take it virtually every day. And the people in there, of course, they're her followers who are used to take her class live and in person, but there's other instructors in there too, just like, hey, I want to take somebody's class from Miami, because it's interesting and fun. And she's making a good amount of money, like you said, maybe more than she was making before. So I'm going to go out there and say, for fitness professionals, virtual is here to stay. Find the right music, make sure you use royalty-free music so that you don't have so you can sleep at night and not worry about anything coming down, and make it a profit center. Set it up as a subsidiary, or some kind of a supplement to your existing, or if you've lost income from whatever you were doing here, it'll replace it until those open full on. Maybe you'll just keep it forever. Absolutely everybody should try it. And it is different, and you could probably help with that, Kella, of course, how to teach virtually. I know it's different. I know my friend who's teaching in Miami, she's like, oh my God, I've never had to work out so hard. Because usually when you teach, you're walking around, you're doing adjustments, but she's like right there. So it's different. There are different things to learn, but if anybody can do it, fitness professionals can do it. They have the skill set, they have the presence, and people love them. Fitness professionals, your followers love you. They want you. They don't want anybody else. They don't want like XYZ celebrity trainer. They want you. You're the one they love, you know? So I don't think it's any surprise for me to say that, you know, definitely slowly implement virtual, because it's going to be here to stay, and it's a great way to make money while you're sleeping, especially if it's pre-recorded on demand.
Absolutely. I know for me, when I started teaching virtual classes, I was recording my live classes. And as the gyms open up, you can see if that's an option to record from your gym setting. So you're recording and then you're doing the exercise in the class one time, but then you're getting residual income from that class as
Right.
people rewatch or revisit that class. And with Zoom, you can integrate some online students that are live, but the more different mechanisms that you're reaching people, you have to think about the way that you're teaching, because the way that you interact with your client face to face is different, as you mentioned, than in a Zoom call. Is different than if they're watching a YouTube video. And if I have a specific end user in mind, the modality or the way that I teach is a little bit different. So you have to figure out the best way to mesh all of those together, because I agree, virtual is not going anywhere. We have a lot of people who really enjoy taking Zoom classes. I know my clients love when they miss a class that they can log in and redo the workout at their time on demand for their schedule. But I also have the clients that are happy to be back in the gym. And so we have to find the best way to manage all of those requirements at the same time. But I feel like most fitness professionals, this is an opportunity to reach a wider audience. I get pictures, sweaty selfies from people all over the world. People that take my class in Arizona or Texas or even in the United States that are doing the workouts on whatever device they have available, and they're sending me a sweaty selfie. I had to look up the location on one of these people the other day because it had a tag of the location and I didn't even know where it was.
A sweaty selfie. I like that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But no, it's great. And I'm wondering how do you do Aqua virtually? I noticed that you said Aqua. How do you do that?
The Aqua classes are a little bit more challenging, specifically from the vantage point of how you position the camera for viewing. It definitely takes a lot more planning. And if the individual doesn't have a big enough device, it's not really conducive for them to do a virtual class. Because you can't be touching your device and be in the pool. That's just, unless you have one of those special OtterBox
waterproof.
Cases.
I do want to add one thing, if you don't mind. Even though we're saying virtual is here to stay, which it is, let's not forget the human interaction and the socialization, the social aspect. And, you know, if you're a fitness professional, invite people into your class 15 minutes earlier and talk to them in a chat room or whatever, or have them stay after. Don't forget that part, because that is a big part of why they love you, because of whatever it is you talk about. You know, hey, how's your hair? How's your this? How's your son? How's your wife? You know, let's not make this robotic, you know. That's just my opinion. I mean, let's keep the humanness in it, because really nothing does. I mean, when I took class this morning for the first time in 4 months, live and in person, it's just different. You know, you can never replace a human touch, a human, you know, seeing somebody, their smile. You can't replace that. However, of course, virtual is the next best thing, and it does come in handy for all the reasons you mentioned. And there's a lot of people that are still uncomfortable. I mean, there were only 3 people in that class today, so people are still not ready to feel safe enough to come back. You know, so and they may, and like you said, they're comfortable. They love it. I mean, there's great. And you saw that 2 years ago, pre-COVID. So somehow you knew that.
No, as a small business entrepreneur, I definitely did not see this mass
Of course.
closures and whatnot. However, as a small business owner with my own studio, and I was teaching most of the classes myself, I needed that time off from the gym to travel and do things in the summer with my kids. And living in Yuma, Arizona, where my gym was not air conditioning, it was like 115.
Oh my God.
So people didn't necessarily want to be at the gym, and the gym, just the population, Yuma changes so drastically in the summer. So it was my opportunity to teach my clients who are going back to Canada for the summer months. It was my opportunity to travel with my kids and record workouts on the road.
That's awesome.
It was my opportunity for my clients who were stuck in Yuma to allow some flexibility for their own summer plans with their kids off of school, to be able to take class with me, but not physically go to the gym. So that's kind of where my virtual background came from. And it was very positively received, because when I have clients that traveled or were out of town, they took me with them and I held them accountable. Did you do your workout while you're on vacation?
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And so it's an opportunity for you to connect with your clients. As you said, showing up early for the Zooms is a great way. I always encourage my clients to tag me in their sweaty selfies so that I can congratulate them.
I love that. Yeah.
Comment on the videos or the posts, whether it's in my virtual studio app, or if it's a Facebook Live video or a YouTube tutorial. I love seeing those comments, and I respond to each and every one of those.
That's great. So, it's so important.
It's that interaction, and the virtual setting has still enabled me to follow up with those clients. So if I'm working with someone, we can still talk nutrition, and we can still talk about progress and things one-on-one as a support mechanism, and another way to help hold people accountable, and something that they're not getting if they go and download a video from a trainer that they've never met before.
Exactly. It's a whole different ballgame. Yeah. So that, I love what you do. I think it's amazing. And I didn't realize that's how it evolved. That's how, I thought maybe you had a crystal ball and you knew this was coming. But no, that's great that you established that, because you're right. During the summer, that's when we lose our, that's when everybody loses their clients and everybody disappears and stops working out. And, and you're absolutely right. So you were onto something before everybody else. So you're definitely ahead of the game. And I've been loving talking to all the fitness professionals these last few months. It's just been so great. Everybody's got a different situation. I was talking to June Kahn the other day. I interviewed her, and she said she went and delivered equipment to all of her clients' houses, whoever wanted to continue work, because she teaches Pilates that requires a lot of like balls and rings and stuff. And she placed the order and she went and hand delivered it. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, if you're going to do it virtually, make sure there's that people, that socialization is still there. That would be my only opinion on it. Otherwise it becomes just celebrity XYZ and you're not, not special anymore. So
all the fitness pros are special.
Yes, they are.
Well, thank you, Denise, so much for chatting with me today. I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.